I didn't think I was cheating. That's the sentence I kept repeating in my head. Like if I said it enough times, it would become true. I didn't sleep with anyone. I didn't kiss anyone. I never even met up with anyone. So how bad could it really be? That's what I told myself. That's what I told my friends. That's what I told my husband. But if it really was nothing, then why did I feel sick every time my phone buzzed in his line of sight? I used to think cheating had a very specific shape. Lipstick on a collar, hotel rooms, secret weekends, sex. Something obvious. Something dramatic. Something you couldn't accidentally fall into. What I did didn't look like that. What I did looked small. Harmless, stupid even. Just messages, just words, just attention. And that's what makes it worse. Because I destroyed my marriage over something so pathetic. Mark and I had been married 8 years. Nothing flashy, nothing toxic, nothing cinematic. Just steady, comfortable, predictable. Which at the time felt like the same thing as boring. He worked in IT, quiet, reliable. The type of guy who researched appliances before buying them and remembered to rotate the tires on my car without being asked. He packed my lunch sometimes, left little sticky notes in my purse. Good luck today. I used to love those. Somewhere along the way, I started rolling my eyes at them. Like affection was embarrassing. Like stability meant failure. I don't know when that switch flipped. I just know one day I looked at my life and thought, is this it? It started with Instagram. God, that sounds so cliche. But it's true. Scrolling late at night next to my sleeping husband, watching everyone else's highlight reels. Girls I went to high school with on vacations in Bali. Engagement rings the size of ice cubes. Date nights at rooftop bars. Perfect bodies. Perfect lighting. Perfect lives. Meanwhile, my biggest excitement was Costco on Saturdays. I started feeling invisible. Like I'd faded into wife mode. Like I wasn't a woman anymore. Just background furniture. It's embarrassing to admit that now. Because Mark never treated me that way. I treated myself that way. But instead of fixing it, I went looking for someone else to fix it for me. The first message came from a guy named Tyler, someone I vaguely knew from college. Hey, stranger. You look amazing lately. That's it. 10 words, 10 stupid words, and my stomach flipped like I was 19 again. I read it 3 times, smiled like an idiot, then checked to make sure Mark didn't see. That should have been my first red flag. Why hide something harmless? But I told myself it was just polite conversation. So I replied, "Lol, thanks. Long time no see." That's all it took. It escalated slowly, which is how traps always work. If someone had asked me day 1, "Do you want to emotionally betray your husband?" I would have laughed in their face. But no one asks you that. Instead, it's, "How have you been?" Then, "You always had the prettiest smile." Then, "Your husband's a lucky guy." Then, "Does he treat you right?" Then, "If I were him, I'd never let you out of my sight." And suddenly you're checking your phone first thing in the morning, waiting for the notification, craving it. Like a hit. Like validation is oxygen. Tyler wasn't even special. Looking back, he was painfully average. But he wanted me. Or at least pretended to. And after years of feeling ordinary, wanted felt intoxicating. Mark loved me. But love is steady, predictable, quiet. Tyler's attention was loud, exciting, new. It's disgusting how easily I confused those things. Soon it wasn't just Tyler. It was a coworker, an old friend, random guys replying to stories. Every little compliment felt like proof I still had it. Like I wasn't aging. Like I wasn't stuck. Like I wasn't replaceable. I started posting selfies more. Little thirst traps disguised as casual. New outfits, more makeup, angles I hadn't used since my 20s. Mark noticed. "You look nice lately," he said one night. I shrugged. "Just trying something new." He smiled. "I like it." And instead of feeling happy, I felt annoyed. Because his compliment didn't hit the same, which is insane. But that's what happens when you train your brain to crave strangers instead of your partner. The messages got flirtier. Nothing explicit. Nothing you could screenshot and go, "Yep, that's cheating." Just suggestive enough. Inside jokes. Late night, "What are you doing?" texts. Selfies sent privately. Not nude, but definitely not something I'd show my husband. And again, if it's harmless, why hide it? Mark started noticing I was always on my phone. "You good?" he'd ask. "Yeah, just scrolling." "Who are you talking to?" "Friends." Which wasn't technically a lie, just not the truth. And those are the worst lies, because you can justify them. The night everything shifted, we were watching a movie. He reached for my hand. I didn't even notice, because I was laughing at something Tyler texted. Mark gently squeezed my fingers. I pulled away without thinking. "Hold on." Just 2 words. But I felt him go still beside me, like something cracked, and I didn't even look up. After that, he stopped reaching for me as much, stopped kissing my neck in the kitchen, stopped those little touches. I told myself he was distant, cold. Meanwhile, I was the one halfway out the door. Funny how that works. Then came the selfies. God. The selfies. Nothing nude, but close. Tank tops. Cleavage. Gym progress pics. Pictures I hadn't sent Mark in years, but I'd sent to Tyler at midnight like it was nothing. Every time my finger hit send, my heart raced. Half thrill, half guilt. And instead of listening to the guilt, I chased the thrill. Looking back, it wasn't about the men. Not really. It was about me. I wanted proof I was still desirable. Still interesting. Still young. I didn't want to be someone's safe choice. I wanted to be wanted. So I outsourced my self-esteem to strangers. And let it poison everything. The night he found out wasn't dramatic. No screaming, no catching me in bed, just quiet. Which somehow hurt worse. We were in bed. I'd fallen asleep scrolling, phone still in my hand. I woke up around 2 a.m. and Mark wasn't next to me. My phone wasn't either. My stomach dropped instantly. Like my body knew before my brain did. I walked into the kitchen. He was sitting at the table, my phone in front of him. Screen lit up, face pale. I will never forget that look. Not anger, not rage, just heartbreak. Pure heartbreak. "How long?" he asked. Soft. Too soft. "What?" "Don't," he said. Just that. Don't. Like he didn't have the energy for lies. He slid the phone toward me. My DMs open. Tyler. The selfies. The jokes. The wish you were here messages. The late night, can't sleep thinking about you texts. Seeing it all together like that? It looked disgusting. Like a stranger had written them. But it was me. Every word. "It's not cheating," I said immediately. God, I hate that I said that. Of all the things I could have said. Sorry, I messed up. I'm scared. Please forgive me. Instead, I defended myself. "It's just flirting." He stared at me, like I'd slapped him. "Just flirting," he repeated. Quiet. Then he laughed. And that hurt more than yelling would have. "You sent him pictures you haven't sent me in years." I didn't mean anything by it. "You told him things you don't tell me." It's not physical. So it doesn't count? I had no answer. Because deep down, I knew. If he'd done the same thing, I'd have been destroyed. I feel stupid, he said. That sentence still echoes in my head. I feel like I've been competing with strangers for my own wife. I started crying. Because suddenly it wasn't about rules or definitions. It was about how I made him feel. Replaceable. Second place. Like a backup option. And no one deserves that. I never touched anyone, I whispered. I know, he said. And somehow that made it worse. Because if you had, at least it would make sense. That line broke me. Because he was right. I didn't risk everything for passion, or love, or chemistry. I risked it for compliments, for dopamine, for ego, for nothing. He didn't yell, didn't throw anything, didn't call me names. He just said, I can't do this, and went to pack a bag. The quiet was unbearable. I almost wished he'd scream. Anything but that calm disappointment. He left that night, said he needed space. The house felt hollow, like all the air got sucked out. I texted Tyler out of pure panic. Mark found everything. You know what he replied? Damn, that's crazy. That's it. No concern. No, are you okay? No, I care about you. Just inconvenience. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't special to him. I was entertainment, ego fuel, a bored married woman giving him attention. That's all. And I threw my husband away for that. Over the next week, Mark barely spoke to me. Short answers, cold politeness, like talking to a coworker. And that hurt worse than any fight we'd ever had. Because love wasn't there anymore. Just distance. I tried everything. Apologizing, crying, deleting apps, blocking everyone. But trust doesn't come back because you press delete. It's already gone. A month later, he said the words, I think we should separate. My chest collapsed. You're really leaving over messages? The second it came out, I hated myself. Minimizing again. Still not taking responsibility. He just looked tired. It's not the messages, he said. It's that you needed them more than you needed me. And that was the truth. We divorced 6 months later. Quiet, civil, devastating. He moved into a new place, started going to the gym, cut his hair, started smiling again. Actually smiling, not the forced one he had near the end with me. I saw him once at the grocery store with another woman. She was laughing at something he said. He looked light. Like a weight had been lifted. Like life was easier without me. And that's when it really hit. I didn't lose him because I cheated. I lost him because I made him feel unwanted. Every day. For months. And nothing kills love faster than that. Now, my phone barely buzzes. Turns out random men lose interest fast when you're single. Funny how that works. All that attention vanished overnight because it was never real. Just boredom, just ego, just noise. And I traded real love for noise. If you're reading this and thinking, it's just flirting, it's harmless, I promise you, it's not. Because it's not about bodies. It's about intimacy. And every message you give someone else is something you're taking away from the person who chose you. And one day, they might stop choosing you back. And when they walk away quietly, you'll realize too late that just flirting cost you everything.